You're watching the UConn football season preview, sponsored by Riscassi & Davis, Connecticut's personal injury law firm.
Welcome back to our UConn football preseason special. Coach Jim Mora, first year to second. I know you don't like to break it down into years. It's kind of a continuation, but there must be some advantages, some things that are different when you get them out there on the field for that second season.
Well, we've been through it, so the players know what to expect, and then our expectations as a staff and as a program rise because of that. You know, I like to look at it, as you said, not as a new start, but as a next step, and trying to build on what we've accomplished so far. But it is always nice to go through it the second time, just because I think you see the improvements that you've made through the first year and then through the off season.
Do you agree that to build a really good offense, you have to start with the offensive line?
I think to build a good football team, you have to start with the offensive line, certainly. I think that, you know, it's only a cliche because it's true, and it, you know, guys, we've been saying it forever in football, is you win in the trenches. And so your offensive line is certainly critical, as your defensive line is to the defense. But yeah, and you know what? We've been fortunate that we have hired an outstanding offensive line coach, and he's got a group of players that are so committed to being really good players. They have great chemistry, great cohesion. They've played together well. They take great coaching. They take a ton of pride in their performance. And I'd say that right now that our offensive line is the strength of our football team.
What should UConn fans think your offense is going to look like when you pick the guy that you want?
Efficient. We're going to be an efficient offense. We're going to be able to make plays down the field with our receivers and quarterbacks. We'll still be able to run the ball well. You're going to see an offensive coordinator, Nick Charlton, and get back to doing what he really likes to do, which is be creative and work off of play action and hit deep overs and take shots down the field. And, you know, we went through so much last year with injuries, not only at quarterback but at running back and receiver, that we were stymied a little bit in what we could do offensively. I think this camp has been a lot different for us offensively in terms of the way we look from a scheme standpoint and our ability to push the ball down the field.
So you're going through camp, you're making sure they're learning plays, learning concepts, learning skills. At some point you have to break from that, start to prepare for game day. How does that happen?
Well, that started about a week ago. And, you know, every day you come out and you stress the fundamentals because you have to master what you do first, right? You have to be good at what you do. You have to be great at what you do. You know, the foundation of our offense, our defense, our special forces, that doesn't change week to week, but the game planning does. And so to your point, you know, we transitioned about a week ago, you know, and started to introduce some North Carolina State things, some things that we're going to focus on in that game, some things that they're going to try to do to us that we need to be prepared for that are different than we've seen every day in camp. So we're along the road on the path towards being prepared for that game.
Just to go back a little, as you were out this year looking at players, talking about your football team, what was the vibe out there from people who had a different point of view of UConn until you won a bowl game and you started showing up in their living room and telling them what a great program you have here?
Well, people were more open to listening to us. You know, there was more interest in what we were doing. And, you know, for us, the keys are getting people on this campus. When we get recruits and their families on this campus and they see how beautiful it is, and they get to meet the people around here, and they get a feel for the energy on this campus, just because, you know, you take all of our sports are competitive nationally. You know, I mean, this is a tremendous sports institution, and it's a great academic institution as well. When they feel that, you know, it's surprising to them. And so, you know, we had more people that were tuned into what we were doing, and if we can, you know, have another good season, it should continue to improve, and it's something that we can never, you know, rest on. We just have to keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
We're looking ahead to the home opener. 5-1 at home last year. I don't think the average fan really understands how important their presence is in the building. It's okay to listen on the radio or watch on TV, but to really be involved, you have to be involved.
Yeah, and our players, they appreciate every fan that comes into that stadium, and the more the better, because people really do need to understand that they influence the game. Our home fans, they influence the game. I'll just go back to the Liberty game. You know, that was one of the smallest crowds we had last year, but the energy that those fans brought was off the charts. And they helped us win the game, you know. The fans are so inclusive in what we're doing, and they have such a tremendous impact on us having success on the field, knowing when to cheer, knowing when to be quiet, you know, knowing when we need a little boost, knowing we need a little kick in the butt, you know, all those things. You know, when we can come out of that tunnel before the kickoff to open the game and the student section's full and people are in the stands, I mean, the energy level of the team just rises. I mean, I watch our guys, they come down that tunnel, all right, and they start to look, and they're looking around the stands, and they're getting a feel for how many people are there or who's there. And when it's just an environment where, you know, you're drawing off of their energy, it helps us. Conversely, if you're an opponent and you run into a suffocating situation, it drags the energy out of you. And so I don't think you can ever overstate the importance of having a great home crowd, and our fans are so important to us. And we're going out there every single game trying to earn their respect and earn their trust. And that's a big thing for us.
All right, Jim Mora, thanks for your time today.